Girlfriend's double life as a secret agent. I thought everything was perfect with her. She was the total package, smart, gorgeous, and knew how to make me laugh like no one else. We'd been dating for a year and a half, and I was seriously thinking about proposing soon. Mom kept telling me to take my time, though, and I guess in hindsight, maybe I should have listened. It all started when she came home late one night. She's always been busy with her job as a marketing exec, or at least that's what she told me. But that night was different. She looked messed up. Her jacket was torn, and there was a bruise forming just under her left eye. "Jesus, what happened to you?" I asked, rushing over to her. "Just work stuff. You know how it is," she muttered, brushing me off. She didn't even let me touch her arm, which I could see had a nasty cut. "I'll clean it up. It's no big deal." No big deal? She looked like she got into a fistfight with a goddamn truck. "Work stuff? You're in marketing, not street brawling," I snapped, trying to make sense of her casual attitude. "Tell me what happened. Who did this to you?" "Let it go," she said coldly, her eyes narrowing like I'd hit some kind of nerve. "I'm fine." That's when I knew something was off. I'd seen her stressed, angry, even upset before, but this was different. There was this wall between us that hadn't been there before. I didn't press her. I let it slide. I shouldn't have. I should have pushed harder, demanded answers. But at the time, I figured maybe I was overreacting. A few weeks passed, and things felt weird. She'd be out late more often. Her excuses started feeling flimsy, like she was making them up on the spot. She'd tell me she was at work events, but her eyes had this haunted look. And sometimes her clothes would have stains on them, dirt, sometimes even blood. One night I followed her. Yeah, I know. That's some paranoid stalker shit, but I had to know. Something wasn't right, and I couldn't shake it. I wasn't going to sit around while she lied to my face. She told me she had a late client meeting, so I waited until she left, grabbed my jacket, and trailed her. I kept my distance, trying not to make it obvious. She didn't go to some fancy restaurant or business meeting like she'd claimed. She ended up in this shady-ass warehouse in the sketchy part of town. I parked a few blocks away, hoping she didn't see me. My heart was racing, and I was sweating like a pig. She walked right in like she owned the place, no hesitation. I waited, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. 20 minutes later, I heard a commotion. Loud voices, something crashing to the ground. I moved closer, hiding behind a stack of old crates. Then I saw her. She wasn't the girlfriend I knew. She was fighting, like, full-on hand-to-hand combat, taking down two massive dudes with some crazy martial arts moves. I'm not even exaggerating. One second they were standing, the next they were on the ground, groaning in pain. What the fuck? I ran back to my car before she could see me. My hands were shaking so bad I almost dropped my keys. I sat there for a good 10 minutes trying to process what I'd just seen. She was no marketing exec. There's no way. No one with a desk job knows how to fight like that. The way she moved, the way she handled herself, it was like something out of a movie. And those guys weren't just random thugs. There was something planned about it, something professional. When she got home later that night, I was waiting for her in the living room. "We need to talk," I said, my voice dead serious. She froze, her eyes locking onto mine. For the first time in a long time, she looked nervous. "I followed you," I blurted out. "I saw everything. The warehouse, the fight. What the hell is going on?" Her face went pale. She didn't even try to deny it. She just stood there, staring at me like she was weighing her options. Finally, she sat down on the couch, letting out a deep sigh. "Okay, you deserve the truth," she said quietly. "But it's not what you think." The next few hours were a bunch of information that I still can't fully wrap my head around. Turns out, she wasn't just some marketing professional. She was a goddamn covert operative, working for some shadowy government agency. Her meetings weren't business deals. They were covert ops, missions that involved taking down dangerous criminals, terrorists, and whoever else posed a threat. The bruises, the blood, the late nights, it all made sense now. She wasn't cheating on me. She was fighting for her life out there, living this secret life she'd kept hidden from me for years. I was speechless. My mind was racing, trying to keep up with the sheer insanity of it all. "I didn't want to drag you into this," she explained, her voice shaking. "The less you knew, the safer you were. My job, it's dangerous. People who find out usually don't last long." I could barely breathe. "So, what now? You just expect me to pretend everything's normal?" "No, I expect you to leave," she said, her eyes hard. "Because now that you know, your life is in danger." That's when everything came crashing down. I wasn't just the boyfriend anymore. I was a liability. She told me that her enemies, people she'd crossed in her missions, would come after me if they found out about our relationship. Staying with her wasn't an option. I thought about running, just packing up and disappearing. But I couldn't do it. I loved her, even after everything, and I couldn't just walk away. But the reality hit hard. My life wasn't mine anymore. I was in her world now, and there was no going back. The last straw came when I got a call from a blocked number. A man's voice, cold and direct. "If you know what's good for you, you'll walk away from her, before we come for you." That was it. I had no choice. I packed my bags and left that night. I didn't tell her goodbye. I didn't leave a note. I just left. Because as much as I hated it, I wasn't ready to die for secrets I didn't ask to be a part of. Update. It's been 6 months since I left her. No contact, no closure. I've moved cities, changed my name, and started a new life. But I'm always looking over my shoulder. I keep expecting someone to show up and drag me back into that nightmare. Sometimes I wonder if she's even alive. Maybe one day I'll get a call saying she's gone, and that'll be the end of it. But part of me knows better. She's out there, somewhere, still fighting her secret war. I thought I was safe, but recently I've noticed some strange things. A car parked outside my apartment, the same one, always there. And a guy who's been, coincidentally, showing up at places I go to. I don't know if it's her keeping tabs on me, or if it's someone else, someone from her world, hunting me down.